Hello and welcome to Bitcoin Smart Money. Today is November 3rd, 2017. Wanted to show you guys a few images and then get on to a couple sites and look at some price action. So one of the things that I think is really important to talk about is the fact that altcoins have taken such a drastic hit over the past 30, 60, 90 days. Some coins losing anywhere from 50 to 70% in value. And what I want to show you guys is that when something loses 50% in value, you need to understand that it needs to gain 100% on its current price level to be able to break even. So having adequate stop losses, and in crypto it could be anywhere from 15 to 25%. I think sometimes having 5 to 10% is just going to be too little of a stop loss to be able to weather out some storm, because you could have a move after a 10% drop of 100% gain. So I think it's really important to know that what's your risk appetite. But letting something bleed completely, halfway down doesn't make sense, whether you're trading ETFs, equities, or crypto. So it's just important to remember that something losing 70% of value, you need to make back over 200% just to break even. And the other thing I wanted to show was a couple different candles, and these are going to be the most valid on daily time frames. So when you're looking at TradingView or Coinigy, whatever trading service you use to look at price action, looking at things from a daily perspective gives you the most accurate results from trading long term. You're not going to be able to swing trade as well because the positions are going to be anywhere from a month to a year, or even more. Where Bitcoin, we've been long in the trend on a daily since October of 2015. So looking at these different candles will give you some insight to where price action is going. And you can see here, the most bearish candle is going to be the open being up top and it closing down there, which is called a bearish engulfing candle. And then you can see some of the lesser bearish candles. In regards to bullish candles, the most bullish candle is going to be a bullish engulfing candle, which opens down here at this bottom where my cursor is, and it closes at the top of the candle, which engulfs previous price action, which tells us most likely price will continue its upward momentum. So one of the sites I wanted to look at is coinmarketcal.com. It's pretty cool because you can sort different coins and you can see actually what's going on currently. This lists all the coins and news that's happening with different cryptos. But from there, you can actually drill down for whatever specific coin you're looking at. And you can see here the ones that you want to select, whether it's Stratus, ETH Classic, IOTA, Monero, and then select the category that you want to find more information about, and even a time frame. So I think it's just really cool. You can see with all the fake news that's going on over the past year or two, that this site actually weeds out and lets you know, based on user votes, how accurate the speculation is, or this news that's being presented is. So I think it's just a cool site worth looking at, and it's called coinmarketcal.com. The other thing I wanted to show was buybitcoinworldwide.com and the volatility index. A lot of newer investors really think that Bitcoin is just a extremely volatile asset that isn't really trustworthy enough at this time. And what you can see here is Bitcoin is a new asset class, but over time it's actually decreased in the amount of volatility it has over its 30-day rolling average. And you can see now where it's a little higher than all-time lows at, I think it's 3.5% almost. But what's important to note is that this volatility is upward. So volatility, the word, has a connotation of being negative. But in Bitcoin's case, the volatility has been upward. And it's one of the first things I mention to people that are talking about volatility with Bitcoin, is its upward volatility. And when I make an investment, that's something I'm willing to take every time. So this site's pretty cool. You can even pair it against gold, the pound, ETH, different currencies. So it's really worth taking a look at, and there's just a lot of different features. So it's buybitcoinworldwide.com, and then there's a link for the volatility index. The other thing I want to talk about was Bitcoin's dominance is now back over 60% as we approach the $200 billion market cap in cryptocurrency. So it's important to see here that this summer people talked about the flippening happening, and that was in the middle of June, with ETH's dramatic rise up to over $400 per coin. But we can see here what's going on lately with Bitcoin is you've had the Bitcoin Cash fork, now SegWit2x, Bitcoin Gold maybe even having some more legitimacy for people to sell off and go into Bitcoin. And I just think it's important to note that Bitcoin's dominance has actually grown a great deal since June. So we're talking only a couple months. It's gone from 38%, 37%, all the way back now to over 60% of the cryptocurrency dominance level, which tells you that Bitcoin is not only the safe haven for crypto, but it has first mover network effect. So many different advantages that people don't seem to take note of. But I just think it was important today to talk about as it makes its rise back to, who knows? It could even go as high as 65, 70% until we have a little bit of the drawback from SegWit2x. So let's look at what's going on in Bitcoin now. Now we're on a daily chart like we talked about earlier. So we're going to stick with that for the candle point of view. And one thing I implemented for the trading system was, looking at price action and where it's been from a longer term time frame to where we think things could settle out. And we have resistance now at the 74.49 level from this is Coinbase now. But let's take a look at support. It's all the way down to 3,000, which is a dramatic drop from here. So it's a very wide range. But I guess looking at the mean would be most feasible at this point. And the mean price on a daily time frame, and this averages 60 periods. So we're looking at 52.1250. So a little over $5,000 per coin. Who knows what's going to happen after the SegWit2x fork, if that goes through, if there's validity to it. We are in just a new time frame with all-time highs being hit. We don't know where price action is going to be, but from daily point of view, we can see the volume on the moves. It's always been on the green closes. It's been on nice volume. So these bars, this bar right here on October 13th, the past 2 days moves up from 62 to 7,200. It's been really nice. So I think we've got to see how things turn out and just go from there. But let's not forget our mean price, our average price is over $5,200 per coin. So something that's really just noteworthy. In regards to NEO, we've been speaking a lot about that lately. We talked about manipulation in from whales, and we don't know whether that's truly the case, but there's just a lot of wicks on both sides of the coin here. This is a daily chart time frame, and you can see major support is at that low here, which happened when China banned in the middle of September. But from this $13 price point, we're still 100% up since September 15th. And a lot of people just say, hey, NEO has just been crashing, it's down. It's up tremendously. And it has a lot of price action in this 22 to 27, 28, 30 level. I know it's a big spread as well, but it's made just such a drastic move that it's something you've got to be patient with. It's got a lot of resistance here. I think the midterm resistance at 34 is important to note that that's the price point we need to take out. And don't forget, you're collecting gas here on the NEO. So it's a long-term trade. This isn't a swing trade for me. It's a business I think has a lot of merit and is worthwhile to note. Don't forget too, we talked about GRS in the middle of September, and that trade ended up closing over 130% in value, upwards to 200%, sold at a few different times. So it's just something that as a trader, you've got to have your orders in place, you've got to have your game plan, just like we talked about, having stop losses in place. And the last thing I wanted to talk about real quick was I was featured on coinidle.com, and you can check that out. Just some myself and a few other people in the Bitcoin community talked about, what's going on with the SegWit2x for, how we've had such price gains, and kind of how traders and investors are feeling. So I'm going to throw that up in the show notes. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at BTC or www.bitcoinsmartmoney.com. Thanks, and everyone have a great weekend.